Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com, and this is episode 44 of Photo Critiques. And in Photo Critiques, people send me in some of their best images, and I critique each shot with suggestions on how they can improve it. And today, I'm pleased to critique the work of Zayne Watson. And Zayne sent me in some really cool shots. Let's get started. Okay, this first one, kind of, classic shot of the stream, tiny little waterfall, very nicely blurred, use a long shutter speed. Relatively long. Here's 20 seconds at f11. Very well done. ISO 200. If that's the lowest ISO his camera would go, that's what I suggest. Go as low as your camera will go on when you're doing landscapes generally, unless you're going for some art effect or something like that. But very nicely done. It's very nice. Now what we do have here is we kind of have it's bright over here and very dark over here. Now it does add texture to the scene, but it could be, it's kind of a little distracting. So we might, this is my taste. You might want to open up the shadows a little bit. So if you open up the shadows, you can see how that brings out the detail in this little cliff, little ridge, I guess you'd call it, right here. So there's before and there's after. So you can see more detail up here in the pine too. So there's before and there's after. So that's just a suggestion. Alright, this shot I saw, as soon as I saw this shot, I thought to myself, what? I had to scratch my skull for a minute there because I had to look twice. Very cool shot, very original. I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually do this. I've heard about it. We have a winter scene, obviously, but the reflection is spring, summer, fall, whatever. The trees have leaves on them. Very nicely done. You could do it in Photoshop with layers and layer masks. Very cool shot. So it's not much to critique other than it's a really cool effect and a really nice shot. Very nicely done. This shot here, I like the color. The sky is done real well. Nice kind of pastoral scene. This tree is super interesting, and I mention all the time in the critiques you want to exploit in the image something that's you want to show off, something that's good. Minimize the bad things. Not really a lot of bad things in this image. We do have this fence creeping in over on the corner, but I would have we got this tree too that's just kind of jutting in from the side. So I would think I like the scene. I think there's a better shot in this scene. So it goes back to what I always say, work the scene. Someday when I die, on my gravestone, they're going to say he worked the scene. That's going to be on my gravestone. So work the scene. I think there's a better shot, a better image in this scene. Exploiting this tree, getting rid of this tree creeping in this fence. This is a pretty cool shot. I mean, it's looking out from probably an observation area over the tops of the colorful trees. The sky's very nicely done. We do have some like twigs and stuff creeping into the shot over here. This tree up here, it'd be better if there was another one right here. It'd be kind of symmetrical framing. So a lot of times from observation areas you don't have much choice of your foreground, so you do the best with what you have, and I think that's what Zayne did here. Now I mentioned this in a previous critique. There is some haze here, and you often could get rid of haze if you get a brush and you bring contrast way up and you bring clarity up. It might be a little high there. Alright, but we'll try it there. I'm going to get a bigger brush. And as you paint in, as you can see, it magically gets rid of that haze that is there. Now, of course, you got to take your time and make sure you're not bleeding over into stuff more in the foreground. But that's how you would do it, is you would turn contrast up, clarity up. If it's a little too much overdone, you could turn these down while that brush is still active. Okay, so that's just some a little tip. If you want to eliminate haze in a landscape shot, you could use that exposure and clarity to try to get rid of it. And that's I admit that's way overbaked, but just an idea. I'm just trying to get you to see the effect. So that's that on that one, and we'll go to the next one. This is kind of a cool shot too. What let me go over here because this is distracting me. What typically when you take a shot, these shots, you want them at the apex of the jump. This is kind of cool because he's almost headed straight down, like he's crashing from the sky. So it's kind of neat in that regard. We have this tree over here, which is, kind of bleeding in. Again, if you could probably turn your camera a little bit to the left, get more of this and less over here. I don't know what's over here, though. Excuse me. I don't know what's over on the right. There might be something bleeding in over there because, I don't know for sure. But I'm just saying, if you could try to work the scene to eliminate that tree, that would help too. This coming down is kind of cool, like I mentioned. Another shot you want to consider, if your camera has a motor drive, you could have took a sequence of shots. I don't know, you need a pretty fast motor drive. So the motorcycle's here, 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots, 6, 7, 8, and get a sequence of shots. And then if you watch my Photoshop training videos, Photoshop for photographers, I explain how you could merge those together with layer masks, and you would have the motorcycle going through the whole sequence of jumps all in 1 shot. So that's something to consider too. But overall, this is a really, really cool shot. And that's it. I'd like to thank Zayne for sending me in his images. I really do appreciate it, and they're really good. Very, very good photographer. And again, the critique shots I'm getting in, there's almost nothing to critique sometimes because the shots are so perfect. So thank you, Zayne. I'd like to thank everyone who watches my videos on YouTube, goes over to my website, watches the videos, and reads my articles. I really do appreciate it. And guys, do me a favor, if you haven't already, go over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon.